Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis, updated commodities, work our way through dollar yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it. And if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com, where I dive deeper into all these different sectors, looking for potential investment opportunities. I've got my opinions on the majority of the sectors that I cover that I think are the best risk reward companies in those sectors. We still have a coupon code Mayday that is active. Let's dive in, let's take a look and see what is happening today. Looking at the DXY, and surprisingly, we have a pretty stark reversal day today. Very surprising, in fact. I was looking for a move lower. We had a bearish engulfing here, and here, looking for a move lower. We also have momentum behind this moving to the downside. And today we get a big bullish reversal candlestick on the dollar where we could start to try to work our way on up. So that's surprising, actually. I'm a little bit surprised here. So big up day in the DXY. More than likely, it's being driven by yields to the upside. So we go over and look at yields. The 2-year yield is higher. It's not substantially higher. The momentum is still to the downside. It's not a reversal candlestick on the short end. So that's kind of just hanging in there, so to speak. So we were up 0.6%. The 10-year, quite a big move today. We had some selling pressure at the top here. That's those wicks at the top, looking for a potential move lower. But today we have a big move higher. What's weird here is this is the 10. We've got an up day of about 1.6%. Really starting to try to put in, it's trying to turn here is what it's trying to do. And we'll see if that's successful. But if we're in a recession, if we actually have true fears of a recession, a lot of the times we see the bond market go down, not up. And this is a pretty strong up move, which has basically reversed that momentum and starts to generate some momentum to the upside. If we go back in history and we look at some of those recessionary times, in 2007, you can see the 10-year fell, and it had kind of one sharp move higher before the last move lower into the bottom there. The year 2000 is another one. Came all the way to 2000, made a peak, and we fell in the 10-year yield all the way to the bottom of about 2003. So those are those moves there. But this move here, we are getting some buying pressure here in the short term, and we'll see how long this lasts. We also saw buying pressure in the 30-year yield up 1.42%. Pretty big move today. And surprisingly, it looks like we were trying to turn here, and then nope, we headed higher. And that's what's difficult in the short term. These things can flip on a dime. So that's what I'm seeing there. We are still underneath a lot of these critical levels. But if it gains enough momentum, we might be able to eclipse it back above it if it can. So TYX, TNX ratio, it's just moving sideways today, down 0.11%. So the yield curve for the 30 and 10 inverted just a teeny bit. Not too much help with yields and this for gold. So the conditions weren't necessarily blowing behind gold at this exact moment. TLT bond prices falling a little bit further, down 0.8%. We are still above all of those big important support resistance levels. On the longer term, there's that guy going across there. We're still above that, but it does look like it wants to try to turn and head lower here. We've got the 2 and 10. The curve is inverting, but surprisingly, we're doing it in a way that's called a bull steepener. The bull steepener is when interest rates go up, but they're going up more on the long end than the short end. So the 10-year yield went up more, 1.6%, and then the 2-year, which only went up 0.6%. So that resulted in the yield curve uninverting. What does that all mean? Well, I don't know everything, guys. Bull steepeners are pretty rare in history. They don't happen all the time. And all of a sudden, we're seeing a lot of it happen. I think we're in this weird mix where maybe The market is worried about inflation in the future, and perhaps we don't have a cut occurring. Maybe the motivation behind the cut is different than what we think it is. Maybe it's not rooted in unemployment in a potential recession. Maybe it's rooted in something else like fiscal problems or interest payments or something like that. Maybe. Looking at gold, gold's up $7 an ounce. The conditions weren't favorable for gold, but it still continued up at $7 an ounce. So this is pretty strong, and we still have that momentum to the upside for gold. Silver down a little bit, and I wouldn't get too worried here. That's just a little bloody nose. The bloody nose is a small profit-taking day next to a tall glass or tall drink of water. It's a big green candlestick and these small little selling pressure days. So it's a continuation pattern, in my opinion, higher, and we could see it jet at any second. So silver still looks excellent. Platinum up a little bit. I think that's broken out, and you could consider this a little small profit-taking day as well, and it's just a small little cross. We are still above support there, and we'll see if we can get some momentum generated to see if we can break the 1050 area. Palladium down a little bit. It does have a little wick at the bottom, so we've got this reversal candlestick here, and it's basically a consolidation falling wedge. So that still looks good to potentially move higher eventually. We've got GDX down a little bit. Nothing to worry about. GDXJ down about 1%, a little over 1%, and SILJ down. Those are all small profit-taking days. We're still above the major support levels on all of these. They still look excellent for a move higher. And looking at like longer term, I mean, GDXJ looks absolutely ridiculously good on all of these. They all look ridiculously good. We've got XAU to gold ratio. It is still down here. We have not broken out of this, but it looks like it's consolidating up against it for a potential move higher. What does that mean? It means that if we get the right market conditions and gold starts to move higher, we could see the gold and silver mining companies go ballistic goose. Go ballistic goose. We could see a big move. So we'll see if that occurs. We'll see if that occurs. It looks good. Crude oil not faring as well as gold, down 2.5%. Is it a bearish engulfing? Not really. Kind of, but not really. It's closed. We'll see, is what I'll say. What I don't like seeing is I don't like seeing these, a move lower, and then we kind of come on up, and I don't see much big buying pressure. We do have this bullish engulfing here, but we still have sellers that are existing in this big selling pressure candlestick here. I know the fundamentals look good in the short term in terms of inventory levels and all those fundamentals. Those all look good. So this is a macro force against a sector fundamental force. And right now, I don't know which way it's going to go. We're stuck between resistance, which is the lineup here is resistance, and then we have support underneath us. We're bouncing between the two at this exact moment, kind of bouncing between the two, figuring out where we want to go. And we'll watch it. I'll see which way it goes. If we break lower, we could see a further move below if we break below 65-ish dollars. If we can break back above 72, 73 bucks, get back up here, we're back within the pattern, and maybe we've got a shot to go higher. But right now, we're kind of in no man's land, and it's a difficult call. TTF gas, I just wanted to put on the afterburners. We got a little rocket with a little rocket fuel on the back there. It's been flying today, up 7.22% ever since we got out of this falling wedge there. Turned the momentum, and it's boosting to the upside, so that looks pretty good. Natural gas in America up 3.5%, looking pretty good. And then we've got XOP, which is out to lunch, getting sold off, down 2.4%. Now, this is a pretty big selling pressure day. We have a bearish engulfing yesterday, which is the follow-through day today. Unfortunately, it is a little bit stronger selling pressure day, and we could see this sell off further to the downside. I want to see some buying pressure in here, guys. We are underneath the support line, and it doesn't look that great. It kind of looks like we could still fall further to the downside. And OIH is also selling off 3.12%. There it is, kind of a larger selling pressure day. You can see the big red candlesticks here, and you can see the green ones, which isn't a lot, and they're not very big. That generally coincides with a move lower. And I'm bullish long-term oil. Don't get me wrong, but short-term, guys, we're going through um, a little bit of a hiccup here. We could fall further in the short term. Newcastle coal up 2%. This is following the TTF gaps, which was up 7. And this could easily start to work its way on up. It looks like it's basing out, and we could eventually work our way on up. This is your flex fuel, so to speak. We've got Sprout Physical Uranium Trust up 0.85%, looking strong, feeling strong. So that's definitely looking good. Maybe we could keep going higher. Looks good. We've broken out of that downtrend. We've got uranium prices looking good for futures prices to the upside. That looks like it wants to head higher. So from a physical uranium standpoint, looks pretty solid to me. This is a falling wedge, guys. Everybody got bullish down or bearish down here. I mean, I saw people like throwing stupid tweets all over the place. Like, you guys need to grow up. Literally. You've got a falling wedge. You've got stuff starting to break to the upside. You should have just waited. That's all it was. Calm, 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 calm. URA, we're up. Now, I was looking for we could get a potential retest move. Now, what I look for is, what does the selling pressure look like? If there's no selling pressure, which today we didn't really get a ton of selling pressure, the sellers might be depleted. We might see a move higher. I don't trade the short term, but it looks good. And even if we come and come back and we do it on small down candlesticks, it looks good. Good. URNM, same thing as URA and URNJ, just a small little down day, down 0.66. And if we just come on back like that, that is good for a move higher. Do not worry about this stuff, guys. You're too worried. The fundamentals are there. You're using price to impact your emotional stability. Don't let it do that. Stay with me, Goose. We got copper down a little bit, looking okay. We got the momentum to the upside, not a huge down candlestick. It looks okay. Everything looks in check. Just be patient. COPX down a little bit. It's okay, guys. And this gap might get filled. We may come back and fill the gap. We just got to wait. That's all it is. And everything's broken to the upside. It still looks good to go higher in the medium term. In short term, we could fill the gap. It very well could. We've got iron ore up a little bit. It's looking like it's trying to base out here and try to make an attack higher. We'll see if that occurs. We've got aluminum down just a little bit. Still bouncing between resistance and support all through here. Nothing's changed. We've got nickel up 1.3%. And again, guys, I'd be patient here. I wouldn't get too jacked up. We've got a lot of red candlesticks here. Even this guy. That means that there's still selling pressure in this thing. We might still have one last sellout, washout sale to scare everybody. And then when everybody starts, crapping each other on Twitter and yelling at each other, that's probably a good time to buy because they're all capitulating. Steal their shares and say thank you. Moo down 1.5%. I still think this is a good setup. We've got support underneath us. We've broken out to the upside of the falling wedge, and we could bounce around a little bit before heading higher. Just got to chill and relax and let it do its thing. Can't force it. Can't force Moo higher. So you just wait. Wait for it. It'll come. Emerging markets down a little bit. No wonder. We've got a big gap here. We got support there. It'll probably do a little retest or something. And we've got stronger dollar, stronger yields. Emerging markets doesn't like that, so pull back a little bit. KRE also doesn't like that, but that's in my pattern that I've put in there. And we'll see if we get a little bit of holding here soon. Or a gap down and a wick on the bottom. That could happen too. We've got TAN down 2.3%. Again, higher yields, higher dollar. They don't like that. Neither does lithium. Lithium doesn't like it. We've got this big gap here. Probably going to fill that gap, do a little bit of a retest. Same with REMX, doing a little bit of a retest here. We'll see if it holds. We could even pull back and fill that gap. It is possible to do that. And it fakes everybody out. Everybody gets all bullish here on the big move higher, and then they FOMO in, and then they get a little bit of a sell-off and shake everybody out of it. Don't be one of those guys. Don't be one of those guys or girls. BDI up 0.75%. It's looking good, feeling good, looking good to go higher. XHB, obviously, guys, we got high, big 10-year yield move, and it's not going to like that. But we still have support back there. So we'll probably do a retest there. We've got Russell 2000 down a little bit, and a little bit more selling pressure there. It's still bouncing around above support. Doesn't look horrible. That's with all these wicks at the bottom that's getting bought up off support. We've got S&P 500 just moving sideways, down 0.19%. I'm curious to see what this does here. Same with NASDAQ. NASDAQ basically moving sideways. Everything's okay to move higher. We don't see big reversal candlesticks, not enough selling pressure yet in both of these, and we'll see where it goes. It is overvalued. I'm not really playing this sector, but SMCI down a little bit. Where are you going, SMCI? Where are you going? It looks like you're just going sideways at the moment. I don't see any one direction where it's favoring. Whenever you get the small candlesticks in both directions, it means indecision. And when you get indecision, what I do is I just say it's probably favorable from the direction it started. So you've got momentum here, and then in indecision, it could break to the downside, but we'll have to wait and see if that actually occurs. NVIDIA up 2.18. It's still underneath resistance. We'll see if that awesome bent trend line gets broken, and I can put a little bit more. Oh my goodness! I thought I clicked it. Put a trend line like that and see what happens there. Bitcoin down 1.5% or so. It still looks okay. We're up against a little bit of resistance going across here. And then Ethereum down 2.8%. Could get a little bit more downward movement. It's a bearish engulfing that we've got today. And this is just signaling indecision. Where we're coming down. We've got the nice big up movements. I'd like to see some sort of contraction into a corner, which we have, and a potential move higher. So I think we still look good. We've got a little bit of indecision in the short term with this bearish engulfing here. But we have broken the downtrend line. Here, I'll draw it a little bit more legit. So that one there. And then you've got this guy. So we kind of squeezed into this corner and broke to the upside. And now we're probably going to get a return move in the short term. But that's what I've got for today. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like to. I did release the midweek update already. It's on the website. Check it out. And that's all I've got for today, guys. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.